Insider Buster Olney's top 10 third baseman stars sizzle at the hot corners. PN illustration: this will be a memorable year in the life of Manny Machado. Sometime in 2018, the Baltimore Orioles will probably trade him to a World Series contender and give him the same opportunity that Justin Verlander had after landing with the Houston Astros. Then Machado will become a free agent in November, and sometime before the new year, he will begin to field offers for tens of millions of dollars, or maybe even hundreds of millions. He will be rewarded for all of the work that he put in as a kid and in his years with the Orioles, all of the time he spent in rehabilitation from 2 serious knee injuries. But the return on his investment in himself may not max out unless Machado digs in and performs more consistently. In order to get the sort of record-setting contract he could pursue, Machado needs to have a strong launch year into the open market. As an on-field response to some of the questions that executives have about him, how does we prepared our top 10 list of third basemen? To be honest, he looks bored sometimes, said one evaluator. Said another, I think he needs a different challenge. Alex Rodriguez was Machado's idol when he was growing up as a kid in Miami, and the comparisons between the two as players are natural because they were raised in the same area, as wildly talented, thriving power-hitting infielders. But there seems to be one enormous and important difference between Alex Rodriguez and Machado. Throughout A-Rod's career, nobody ever questioned his focus. Ever. Potential investors viewed Rodriguez as someone of superlativeness and total commitment, someone who would do whatever he needed to do daily to be great. That helped him land 2 record-setting contracts, his $252 million deal with the Rangers, which he opted out of to negotiate a $275 million monster with the Yankees. Last year was a challenge for Machado, for sure. Early in the year, he was at the center of the Orioles' beanball stuff with the Red Sox after colliding with Dustin Pedroia on a slide. The Orioles had the worst rotation in the majors, and for the Baltimore position players, there must have been a Groundhog Day feel to the season. By the 4th or 5th inning on most days, Machado and the other position players would be staring at an early deficit of 3 or 4 runs. By September, the Orioles sometimes looked like the Walking Dead, Machado among them. This was reflected in the feedback of evaluators solicited for the rankings of the top 10 third basemen. For some, Machado was listed 4th or 5th or even 6th, with caveats. At his best, they believe, he is the most talented defender of the position, and capable of big offensive numbers, but that he sometimes will drift through days or weeks, particularly in the way he works through his plate appearances. His production in 2017 was remarkably erratic. Machado's ops by month: April .767, May .629, June .759, July .870, August 1.039, September .537. He finished with a .259 average and a .310 on-base percentage, and as ESPN researcher Paul Hembekides notes, his performance outside of hitter-friendly Camden Yards was flat-out awful last season, a .268 on-base percentage in 336 plate appearances with an adjusted ops of 80, well below major league average. He's going to get a great contract and make more money than almost all of his peers because of how special a defender he is, whether he's at shortstop, where the Orioles are expected to play him this year, or at third base. But Machado could help himself by being more consistent, in a sport that probably values that trait, and compensates for it more than any other. Our top 10 list of third basemen, which is based on the input of evaluators and the insight and data generated by ESPN's Paul Hembekides, Sarah Langs and Mark Simon. And of all the tasks in this series, trying to rank the third baseman is the most impossible.